Hey everybody, I am really excited today because my first real piece of blacksmith equipment has arrived. It is right here in this box. My forge is here. So I wanted to record a quick unboxing video of you guys seeing me unbox it, and then I'm gonna put it together. And we have the Devil Forge double burner. I'm really excited about this. So let's get it unpacked and see what we got.
All right, guys, so we got our box here. I just cut off all my personal information. That way you guys don't send me any fan mail. If you do want to let me know that you appreciate the videos, now would be a great time to like and subscribe, hit the bell icon. But what we've got here, it feels like it's packaged pretty well. We're just gonna cut this open and see what we got. So, okay, looks like we've got some hose. Seems like it's wrapped pretty well. I'm not sure why we've got so much busted up styrofoam, but this seems like it's pretty high quality hose. We'll put that together here in a second. I'm gonna grab a trash can. Now we got a bunch of styrofoam here. I was enjoying following the FedEx shipment. This came all the way from Lithuania. So we got some, oh, that'll be for insulating the pipes. Yeah, there we go. It's pretty nasty insulation stuff, so don't want to mess with it too much, but we'll set that aside. All right. This reminds me of the Christmas party game where you wrap up something in cellophane and force people to try and find the end and whatnot. There we go, got it out of there. Set that to the side. This feels like our burners. I bet there are YouTube channels out there where people just pop bubble wrap. They're probably better looking than me. So, all right. Check this out. I was a little worried when I opened up the box and saw that tore up styrofoam, but everything seems like it's wrapped really well. This is heavier duty than I thought it would be. So, little, yeah, seems like it's really well made. All right, we got some more bubble wrap. Oh, this is your hardener for refractory coating rigidizer for ceramic fiber blanket. All right, so that'll be, I'm gonna mix that up at the end. Cool. And then what else do we have? Oh, this feels like our stone, our fire brick. This is the one thing I read that potentially breaks. So we're gonna hope that these are all in one piece. It looks like it is, so that's a relief, because I don't like having to wait for stuff from Lithuania, but it looks like it's all really well packaged. All right, seems like this is all Pretty cool, so it'll sit in there like that. Really cool. All right. Imagine this is going to be all of our fixtures. It's going to be our regulator for our tank. Over there with the hose. This is your actual valve with your hose clamps. Awesome. And all this stuff seems like it's really well machined and clean. Really excited to put it all together. That's trash, and oh, look at that, we got instructions. Awesome. I don't know what language they speak in Lithuania, but these are English, so that is a blessing. So we'll pull that out. Side. Let's see how this comes. Oh, it's the paintbrush to use with the rigidizer. Okay, cool. I didn't realize that it came with that. This seems like it comes with just about everything you need. Just add water. All right. First thing I'm noticing is that these legs are a little short, so I might end up building something to lift that a little higher, just because I am planning to use this table to run the forge, and even though I think it insulates well, I could see that being a problem in the future. So we're just gonna back these screws out. Check that out. Looks, it's kind of pushed down at the top a little bit, but we'll get that. I am gonna put some gloves on just while I'm working with this. I think they call it Feo wool. Feo wool. It's like a super thick insulation. It kind of reminds me of that stuff that you find in your like, I think about in like attics and stuff. So we'll push that all down there. Get that kind of pushed. Make that all nice and smooth. Just don't want to be all itchy. Alright, now we're gonna take the first thing it says is insert bricks into the forge. So let's follow those instructions. We're just gonna set the brick in on this side. Push that all the way down to the bottom, nice and smooth. Flip it over and put this side in. You can see they butt up against each other really smoothly. They're perfect size. All right, then it's connect the hose to the pressure regulator and the burner. So that's what we'll do next. So, all right, we're gonna take the hose, we're gonna slide that hose clamp over one end, and then we're just gonna push that in there. I might be doing that wrong. That doesn't seem right. Oh, see what I missed? So this, does that go like that? All right, so I went ahead and read the rest of the instructions, and I did have it, I was making a quick mistake. So here's what we're gonna do first, is we're gonna put this Feo wool in here. This is designed to go around these bolts in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna loosen up one of these first, so we can kind of pack it in there really well around the edge. And know how well it seems like it's a little too thick to just do that the way I was planning on it. So I'm gonna rip it in half. What kind of a poker stick? I think a screwdriver may do that well. We're just gonna kind of force this all down in here and alright, got the fail wool kind of packed in there good. I'm just gonna tighten up this bolt, loosen up another one so that it'll pack in the rest of the way. So this is really dense and thick stuff, and that hole's pretty small, so just packing this in here nice and tight. There we go. I'm gonna kind of slide this underneath that bar. I guess what this fail wool does is keeps the, not only insulates it, but keeps the flame from coming up and out while you are burning. It's on top of the car. With no further interruptions. Just kidding. My wife's awesome. Alright, and we are packing this in to those holes back there. Alright, I feel like that's pretty well packed, smooth. We're just gonna tighten that down. It says a 7mm socket, so we got one of those right here, I think. That is not a 7mm socket. They lied. I think they were talking about on the hose clamps when they say 7mm socket. But fortunately for us, that 14 mil fits perfectly. Now that we've got this side tightened up, don't want to over tighten it, but you want to make sure that it's stable. The other important thing is to make sure that your forge, the pipes inside here line up with the insulation on the inside. There we go, that's good and stable. Now we'll do this other side. Once again, we're just gonna unloosen one of the screws, and actually now that we've got that one tightened down pretty well, don't do that. My fire brakes fell out. That's what I get for getting too excited, huh? Alright, we're gonna lay those back in there. Fortunately, they didn't have too far to fall. Okay, so we got that there, nice and stable. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put that hose clamp, and then we're just gonna slide this right on top of there. And that is a gas fitting, so we don't want to push too tight on it, but we do want a good secure fit. So looks to me like I got about an inch of extra hose over the clamp. You can kind of see where it is and isn't in the over the hose. So, and then just tighten these down. And that is good and snug right there. No problems there. Now we're gonna come over here onto this side. This is what got me confused earlier. So you want to take your hose clamp and slide that over here, and then you're going to take the nut and you're going to drop that in there, and this is going to be what actually attaches to the regulator, and then this is going to go into the hose. So we'll take this, we'll push that in there a good bit. There we go, got that pushed in there sufficient distance. That just needs to have a little bit of play in it. And there we go, I like that better. I like that the best. So what you want to do is you just kind of got to muscle it in there all the way up, so that I think you could probably tighten it down there, but with the way that this is going to work, I think you could actually, you can see here, oh, it's a gas fitting, so it's lefty tighty, righty loosey, which is only mildly confusing. But once I got that on there nice and tight, yeah, there we go. Now we've got a good shoulder to tighten down this hose clamp. That's what we're looking for. So you can see that's good and tight. Just because these are brass fittings, you can strip out a brass fitting. So be mindful of that, but you do want it nice and snug. If you have some plumber's putty or plumber's tape, might be good to put that on there. I don't have any on hand, and it doesn't say anything about it in the instructions. I'm not gonna do that, but next thing we're gonna do is take our handy dandy calipers. I just have some cheap Harbor Freight ones, and it says to set it to about 8 millimeters. Let me make sure, yeah, 8 millimeters, so a little less than a centimeter. And yeah, these are pretty cool the way these work. They'll and all come up together, and we just want to, it doesn't have to be exact, but these are your air filters, or air, this is how much oxygen is going to be getting in. It determines the heat of your fire. So they advise 8, but you can, I'm sure things like sea level and oxygen content of where you are affect those things, but we'll start with where they say, and then we'll play with it, and I'm sure I'll have a preference and get it tuned in to where I want it as we go. So we got that right at 8. I'm just gonna put those, looks like they're pretty close, the same height now. This one's a little higher, so I'm just gonna get that to the same. What's nice with this is it has this, you can choose to operate with just one flame, or you can have both going. So pretty cool, gives you a little bit more versatility there. This Devil Forges also comes out with a 3 burner and a single burner. So I went with a double burner because I kind of operate off the idea of buy once, cry once, and I like things to be bigger, better, stronger. So, all right, and then once again, we're gonna take our valve. This is gonna be what controls our pressure, and it is also reverse threaded, is what I read, but it doesn't feel like it's going in the reverse threaded way, so let's try it the right way. Look at that. All right, so get that screwed in there, and apparently right decreases it. Having it twisted to the right decreases the PSI, having it to the left increases the PSI. So we're gonna start that real low. We're gonna get that connected to our propane tank in a moment, but before we start that, we are gonna figure out what to do with this rigidizer. So I'm gonna read up on that and then I'll be right back with you guys.
All right, so we've got here is, we've got this rigidizer. I've got 210 milliliters of water, which, spoiler alert, is just under a cup. I was grateful my wife had metric measuring cups, because we use the imperial system in this house. Bless God, but the rest of the world operates on the metric system. So we're just gonna put this in the cup. I do recommend using a disposable cup, as my wife told me that I will not be using her nice cups for that. All right, and this is one of those times when I wish I had the fast forward button on life, because the instructions say to stir this for 15 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna say, Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes.
Alexa, stop. Well, we've been mixing this for 15 minutes. It looks like the world's nastiest melted chocolate milkshake ever, but that's kind of what it looks like. Doesn't have much of a smell. Little unasked for solicitation. I will say, I've had these Makita drills now for about 2.5 years. I have the drill and the impact driver, and they are just a notch above. I've used DeWalt, I've used Black & Decker. Makita, you pay a little bit more at the front end, but you really do get a quality tool. And I know these aren't too knocked up, but I've seen these with guys on job sites, and they are just beaten to tar, and they still work just as good as the day you buy them. They're great tools, and apparently it makes a pretty good mortar mixer. So if you're interested, I'll put the link in the description. You can go check it out. I'm gonna keep my gloves on here, not because I'm that messy of a painter, but because I don't wanna get this nasty Feo wool stuff on my hands. So I'm gonna start pretty deep in and just kind of paint my way out. It's pretty easy, actually. I was kind of worried about this part of it. I wasn't sure what to expect. I've never painted with anything this thick and kind of gloopy before, but it's pretty easy, you know. I don't know about getting my face in the Feo wool. You do want to avoid your forge, or the holes where your gas is going to be coming out. As you can imagine, some
You wouldn't want to block any of that from coming out, but it's going on pretty easy. It's not the cleanest job in the world, but I think this is just supposed to kind of protect the fail wool from getting to, I guess it wouldn't burn up, but to tore up when putting things in and out. This is gonna make it a little bit more rigid, give it a little bit more structure. So I will say this is a pretty nasty job. I think I had the right idea by starting deep in, but I didn't quite go far enough. So we'll go further this time. Here we go. I will say this stuff is really nasty. Just kind of slopping it in there. Packing this in here around the entryway or the where that's gonna come and go. Since it is just a mortar, I'm hoping that it'll kind of clean up the same way mortar does, where when it dries it's so hard that you can kind of just knock it off of anything that you don't want it on. I guess we'll discover that as the time comes, but just kind of that in there all the way as far as I can tell. I think we're almost done. There's just a spot right in the middle at the top that looks like it needs a little bit more. And once again, I'm just gonna hit this outside edge, try and prevent, that seems to be the area where it would get messed up the most. And we are all finished up there. So, if you read the instructions, it says that it needs to wait for 24 hours to fully set. So I will be back tomorrow and we will check this out and fire it up for the first time. I'm excited, and I'll see you guys. Well, for you it'll be in a few seconds, but for me in about 24 hours. All right, so we were able to, I let this sit overnight, and you can see it's still, there's a few what look like damp spots, but I imagine once I fire up the forge, it'll probably take care of that. What's left there. You can see over here, I've got my propane tank hooked up. One thing to notice is that if you tighten down this as far as it can, then it is wide open. So you have to back it back out, but nothing too crazy. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna open up the propane tank. And I've seen a couple of different ways to do this. I'm just gonna do it the way that seems safest to me. Is just take a paper towel or anything like that, and you just stick it in there, and then you just slowly open up the, oh, I think I'm twisting it the wrong way. I was. And just like that, it kicks on real easy and burns up the rest of the paper towel. Seems like it's going pretty well. Oh yeah, I just torched that paper towel. And then we'll open up the second valve. There we go. So it's burning a little rich there, but now you can see we come over here. You can see it's got both flames going from the back and the front. A little bit of smoke coming off the top. I'm not sure if that's just something drying out or if there's actually something burning in there. It's pretty amazing how, like, the hand's not even hot right here, just a few inches away. But it does seem like it's really hot. I'm a little interested to figure out why it's smoking like that. I don't know if that's picking up on the camera. But I'll take that as a successful assembly. So thanks for watching, guys. If you will, like and subscribe. You will see my progression as a blacksmith. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day and God bless.